discussing the effect smoking has on the environment and everyday life.
Smoking has caused many altercations in society, the economy, and many complications in the medical world.
Over the years, as science has advanced, studies have been done proving that smoking can be detrimental to the human body in everyday life. One study done by Paul H. Broadish shows that cigarette smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States and accounts for almost 500,000 deaths per year, or 1 in every 5 deaths. Also, a study found on issues and controversies stated that the CDC estimates that more than 8 million people in the United States currently have diseases caused by smoking, including many resulting from exposure to so-called secondhand or passive smoke. Another article found on issues and controversies showed that smoking just one e-cigarette might raise the users exposed to users enough nicotine to trigger an adrenaline surge in the heart that can contribute to high blood pressure and other health problems. Cigarettes are not only bad for your health, but they also contain products that are harmful to the environment and others around you. Some products include hydrogen cyanide, which is also found in gas chambers, arsenic found in rat poison, ammonia found in toilet cleaner, and butane found in lighter fluid. As you can see from the diagram, more than 480,000 people die in the US alone from smoking every year. And it also shows just how many people have to live with their bad decisions, because over 158,000 people have a heart disease and 36,000 people have cancer from this. A solution to this would be to make products that help people stop smoking more reliable and accessible. We can do this by lowering prices of the products already out there, like the nicotine patches and gum. Or we can find a better type of product that is more reliable and effective. One implication to this would be that science has to keep improving and finding ways to advance in the medical field, but we don't have enough money or governmental funding to do this, which leads us to our overall solution.
Our overall solution is that the government needs to crack down on cigarette sales and use by applying smoking bans. Limitations to this would include that the government, as Ellis said, doesn't have the funding or resources to really fix the problem. Some negatives would include that bans and stricter laws take away the freedom of the people, and you can't ever just fully ban something because someone will either find a way around it and protests may develop. Positives include that it reduces the amount of medical problems, improve work productivity, and reduce pollution and personal expenses.
Nicotine, false advertisements, and secondhand smoke are the leading causes of underage smoking. Trends have been created over time that say that smoking is a cool thing to do and is how teens fit in. A social class is also developed and shows that most people view smokers as the low class based on their poor decisions and health conditions. As stated in the article, advocates cite medical evidence showing that secondhand smoke is dangerous, and they argue that non-smokers should be allowed to enjoy a meal or a cocktail without having to breathe in other people's cigarette smoke. This evidence shows that whether or not intentional, smoke has a tendency to invade other space and makes them nauseous to many people. This graph shows that over time, cigarettes have been used by high schoolers, but in recent times, vaping has increased because of the addictive chemical that is called nicotine that has been addicted to many teens because of the trends that have been set. Solutions to this is that to create special smoke rooms in public places that prevent smoke from invading citizens' privacy and getting in their faces. This will cause less fights between people about the smoke, and smokers will gain respect, and restaurants will gain publicity and money because a lot of people will want to eat there. Though this would be a great solution, it would be very expensive and would require a lot of money, and also smokers might not like the idea of being enclosed in one space. Also, in later times, people were allowed to smoke in restaurants, and this was a hazard because many fires would occur, and this would also be a hazard.
Smoking and its side effects cost the world economy more than $1 trillion and kill about 6 million people each year. Just because of buying and smoking cigarettes, the medical effects are costing the world so much and kill so many people each year. It matters because the world won't have money forever, and of course there are other things going into it, but smoking isn't helping. Americans spend about $80 billion on cigarettes per year, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Sober, many of his clients spend about $70 a week or $280 a month on a pack of cigarettes. Smoking doesn't only hurt the economy, but also can hurt your savings. Americans are spending about $70 a week, and seeing how many chemicals are going into the cigarettes is kind of crazy. A pack of cigarettes costs about $6.28, and after doing the math, it would take buying 11 packs a week to be spending $70. It poses enormous health and non-health related costs to the affected individuals. Smoking causes a lot of medical problems like heart disease and can cause cancer in any part of your body, most commonly lung cancer. And these health effects require help from the hospital, but after you go to the hospital, you have to take care of the hospital bill. But a lot of people can't do that. About 43 million Americans have unpaid medical debt dinging in their credit because paying off those medical bills are not easy. Smoking-related illnesses in the United States cost more than $300 billion each year, including nearly $170 billion for direct medical care for adults, more than $156 billion in lost productivity, including $5.6 billion in lost productivity due to secondhand smoke exposure. Secondhand smoke exposure is like when somebody around you is smoking, but you're not smoking, but it's in the air, so you're being exposed to it, and that's $5.6 billion in lost productivity because of that. And it causes a lot of health effects in children, including more frequent and severe asthma attacks, respiratory infections, and sudden infant death syndrome. An economic solution would be to apply sin taxes. Sin taxes are taxes applied to harmful products. Proponents say that sin taxes are particularly effective in driving down smoking and drinking among young people, but opponents say that sin taxes can also end up hurting the economy. Pros and cons to sin taxes would include that they decrease the amount of teens buying cigarettes, but they do make citizens feel like the government needs to ease back. The government's main job is to protect the citizens' natural rights, and when the government steps outside of that, people may get angry, which is kind
Cody
of why
Cooling
prohibition
and Connor
is one of our
Littleman,
solutions. The government
Ian
has started
Schaefer,
that
please
before,
come to the
and
lobby.
people did not agree. And years a little after, the alcohol prohibition was lifted. Higher taxes on tobacco products reduce tobacco consumption and improve public health, while also increasing government revenues that can also be fund priority investment in programs that benefit the entire population.
Will the following
This
students please
supports
come see
applying
Mrs.
sin taxes
Ehlers
and
in
goes
room
deeper into
305,
by saying higher
Christopher
taxes on tobacco
Artis,
products reduce tobacco
Riley
consumption.
Backscheider,
Implications of sin taxes would be that they
Malachi
improve public health
Brayton,
and they lessen
Ashley
tobacco
Brewer,
consumption. Limitations would be that you can never know if you
Kanaya
will be able to get the money
Brundage,
to buy cigarettes, and that they may
Xander
cause illegal
Cherubella
activity like
McKee,
black market operations and smuggling to
Joseph
take place.
Clayton,
This helps us
Lillian
come to the conclusion that smoking
Cordell,
negatively affects the
Nathan
body.
Corey, Kimberly Bader, Hannah Bennett, Brian Bledsoe, Daniel
Okay,
Bryant,
Ella, first
Gabrielle
question's for
Byrne,
you.
and Brandon Cron.
Reflecting
to
on your
305
colleagues'
to
work,
see Mrs.
which one
Ehlers,
had the
please.
greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem the group identified?
So Haley's really helped me see the more social side. I really focused on the scientific and just the facts. Haley showed more of the social and how other people are affected by it instead of just the medical reasons, and also how she explored more of solutions, not instead of banning smoking, but rather helping people who do smoke, how we can help them. Maybe her solution was to have a specific room for them to sit in and smoke rather than banning it. So that really helped me with finding different viewpoints.
Okay. Haley, you're next. What is the strongest counter argument to the solution or conclusion your team identified, and why?
The strongest counter argument would be that there's not a lot of resources in the government because they don't really care about smoking bans. They have a lot of other stuff to worry about, and a lot of people would be very mad if they weren't allowed to smoke because recently they just upped the age of it, and even if they did it more, there would be a lot of controversy.
Okay, and then finally, Katie, what, if anything, do you consider to be a gap in your research that, if addressed, would make you feel more confident about your conclusion?
A gap would probably include how at the end I talked about illegal smuggling and black market operations. If the government would put stricter laws on that, we could I feel like we could have talked about the prison system and probably gone into more depth about that and had better evidence.